Hey John, hi everyone,
Good,
welcome.
good. Good to see you there. So in the webinar today, we will be giving you a step-by-step guide on how you gain the status of Worldchefs Approved Certification Center. So we'll just take our time here because we see around 45 participants coming in. Lots of chat coming in. So hello everyone and welcome, and thank you for the nice welcome notes. Okay, recording in progress. That's cool. Okay, so we'll wait a few more moments and see before we start. So we hope that you are all keeping well and safe in your part of the world as we are here. I'm coming to you from Dublin, Ireland. Anand and Connie are in Paris, at our head office. So, and we have Isla in the background as well, who is assisting us as well. So a lot of work going on from our team. So we are looking at, thank you, Suresh. Yeah, that's good. So what time are we at now? We're at 9 a.m. Are we? I think we are, yeah. So we have two sessions today. The first session is now, and then we will have a second session at 4 p.m. this afternoon. And in both sessions, we will be taking questions and answers. And please feel free to, we see the Q&A button here. You can ask questions there, and we'll try to endeavor to answer them as quickly as we can. And then we can also take a session at the end, a Q&A session at the very end of the program, at the very end of the webinar. So I think we're looking at, it's still climbing. It's 52 at the moment. So we'll hang on a second and see. What have we got here? Good morning, everyone. Okay, questions are gone. Okay, cool. Chat, there's a lot of chat in here. Great stuff. Okay. Thank you, Mary, for your welcome note, and greetings from Saharan India, from Sydney, from Macedonia, Azerbaijan, Pakistan, Palestine. Good morning, everyone. I'm Chef from India. So you can see the Worldchefs is a truly global organization. And, we talk about the power of our white jacket. And this is great to see. Really, really, really wonderful to see so many of you joining us today. So more messages coming in from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, a lot of these places are on our list. Hello from Indonesia again. Herzegovina. Great stuff. Excellent. Still climbing. Still coming in. Okay. So we have 56. So will we start, Anand? Do you want to?
Yeah, John, if
What do you think?
yeah, I think we can start.
Yeah, so we can, I mean, it's being recorded, so, people can,
yeah.
yeah. So, okay, so as we said, we're good morning or good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, or whatever part of the world you're in. Again, welcome to you all. So, we will start off with the little agenda that we have here. So, Anand, if you want to press it. Okay, so what we're going to do here, first of all, we're going to start by introducing you to the approved certification centers, what they mean, and so on and so forth. And then the new school application process, which has been redeveloped, and Anand has played a great role in that. And also then we're going to look at then, if you're already a recognized school, the options for having your programs mapped and so on and so forth. And then at the end, then we will take a Q&A session. So the first thing is, so what is the Worldchefs Approved Center? Okay, so this is, it's a prestigious recognition that demonstrates an institution's commitment to delivering programs of the highest level of quality achievable in culinary education. So I know that there may be some of you here today who may not be familiar with the program, but just to give you a very quick history of it, this was established in around 2010 by the Education Committee. So what we did was in the process of developing this program, we wanted to identify what we call the standards that we would expect a school to meet within its programs, with its delivery, with its facilities, and so on and so forth. So we base those 12 steps, if you like, we call them the global standards that we use. And today, we can proudly say that we have over 140 schools in our program. And these are schools from all across the world, very, very high standard in schools, amazing facilities. And just, it's great to have these schools on board because they become part of our Worldchefs Education Partner Program. So it's a really, really good program. And this is the next phase, if you like, because Worldchefs, we don't stand still. We like to keep, improving all the time. And this is another step in that process. So we now have, the Approved Certification Center, and that's what we're going to be talking about next. Thanks, Anand. Okay, so these are the key benefits of being, a Worldchefs Approved Certification Center. You can see here that it gives you an opportunity to showcase your training programs that meet the latest global culinary standards. And again, Worldchefs are very conscious that, we live in a changing world. There is a lot of challenges out there, certainly most recently with the pandemic and so on and so forth. And, we're here to kind of, encourage schools and help schools as best we can. And then we want to be able for you to be able to promote your institution's dedication to professional excellence, and for you to be able to attract the best talent coming to your school. Also, then we have our fast track program, which again is part of the certification. We'll be speaking about that during the presentation. So that gives your students access to fast track certification, which we will talk about during the presentation. And then we have what we call the digital badge. The digital badge is, we're now moving into a digital era, where in the past it would have been, certificates, physical pieces of paper, and so forth. Now you can have a digital badge which can be downloaded onto your phone. You can promote it onto your social media platforms and so on and so forth. And this is the way we're moving forward. So it's part of what we call digital credentials. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well later on. And then obviously then, you have an opportunity then also to showcase your educators, because, education won't happen without these people. And we fundamentally believe in this within Worldchefs, that educators need to be recognized as well. So you can provide digital badges to your educators who will illustrate the school's commitment to delivering the programs, again, at the highest quality. So, this can all be done as part of this whole process. So we'll learn more now as we move on. Thanks, Anand. And this is how you become Worldchefs. I'm going to let Anand talk about this one here.
Sure. Thank you, John. Thank you for explaining the introduction to Certification Center and some of the key benefits. So, guys, now we can look at the potentially new schools that are looking to be a part of Worldchefs Education Network, that wants to get recognized by Worldchefs. And how do you do that? How do you make the account, and how do you upload evidence and your documents so we can review that? So we're going to look into that. So moving to the next slide. So basically, in order to access the page where you can get all the information on how to become a recognized school, you have to go to worldchefs.org. That is our homepage. That is our main website. And you can hover the cursor over training and certification. And on the left-hand side, you will see an option Recognize School. Under that, you will see Become a Worldchefs Recognized School. So once you click on that, you will be redirected to a page which has the benefits. It talks about the benefits. It talks about a little bit what John mentioned, the key benefits, the key features, and also the process and the 12 steps, as John alluded to just moments ago. And then at the end of all these steps, you will see there are two options. There are two buttons, so you can apply, or you can track an application. So for the first time, people who are looking to make an account and then start the application process, you can click on apply. And then as soon as you click on apply, you will be redirected to a sign up page. So on that page, you will have the opportunity to provide us with the basic information, like the first name, last name of the person who is creating the account on behalf of the school, email address, country, and then you can set the password. So this is how you create your school account. Okay. And then once you create this account, you will be immediately logged in. You can log in and then you can actually get access to your dashboard. Within the dashboard, as you can see, as soon as you log in, everything will be in red because you haven't started the application, right? So as you move forward in the application, as you go ahead and start uploading documents, providing us information, these red boxes will turn into green. So that's how you keep a track of the application as well. And there are different parts of the account as well. You can see that there's a messaging option there, which I'm going to show you in a second. There's map your program, digital badging, change form, settings, FAQ. There's a help option as well, and then you can sign out from the account and you can come back in. So you can take time. You don't have to submit all the application in one go. You can come back later and then you can continue from where you left off. Okay. Moving on to the next slide here. So this is how the application looks like. This is a 5-part application. So the first part is general information. This is information about your school, about yourself, and if you have any pictures, logos, videos of the school, so you can upload all that information there. The second part is the culinary director profile. So this is the person, the director of the program. So it'll be their name, their resume. And John, feel free to jump in if I'm missing anything.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah, good.
It's an extensive application. So yeah, we would ask all the culinary director details in the second step. And then the third step is the faculty credential. So this is basically, and I think, John, we need to start with the 5, right? In the beginning.
Yes.
Five
Yeah.
faculties. Yes. So once you provide with the faculty credentials, then a little bit of information about the educational programs in the 4th step. And then in the last step, you have to provide us with the documents pertaining to if you have licenses and so on and so forth.
Yeah, we would be asking them to provide us with the copies of the program details, so then we can see the actual programs themselves, what's involved. That would also include, Anand, that would also include like assessment rubrics and stuff like that, because so we can see how the actual programs, how the students' work is assessed and so on and so forth. So it just gives us a clear understanding. I think another point as well there that's important to remember is that, and I know you'll talk about it later on, but they also have an opportunity to review the application, go back to it, and just fine tune it if they want to. And you're dead right. They don't have to rush this application. Take the time to just do it properly.
Exactly. So the option that you see at the bottom is save and continue. So you can actually go back to, let's say, if you're on step 2nd, you can go back to step 1, and then you can change some information if you want to update. And then you do have opportunity to make changes as you go along, as John mentioned. And in the end, you can do a final review before submitting the application. So that's that. Moving on. So this is what I was mentioning. So once you move along in the application, you'll be able to see that you have finished uploading all the information, the documents, providing the information, and then the boxes will turn green. So this is how you can keep a track of your application.
And just on that point, sorry, Anand, just on that point, on the green, if some of your boxes don't turn green, well, then you need to go back onto that particular section and look at it, because it may well be something to do with maybe the hours of teaching or the number of students or something. It could be a simple thing, but again, it's just an opportunity to be able to go back and just review it and see, have you got the correct information in there? Because we've had instances where sometimes it still stays red, and the reason for that is because you can't submit the application until they're all green.
Exactly. So you must provide all the required information in order to submit the application.
Yeah, and if they have issues, they can reach out to us anyway. There's no problem.
Exactly. So that's actually my next point that I was coming on. So the help section that I mentioned. So let's talk about the messages option first. You do have an opportunity to send us a message from your account. You don't have to send us an email. I mean, you're more than welcome to if you want to, but then the best way is to click on messages, and then you can send directly a message for for us to respond and to get a faster response, actually.
Mm.
So any questions on the application, or if you're in the middle of the application, you don't understand what document or what information you have to provide at a certain point in the application, or if you have any question, any technical question, any question regarding the application itself, like I mentioned, just send us a message and we'll get back to you. Yeah.
I think might be at this point it might be worth just mentioning that, you know, the application should be in English where at all possible. I know we do sometimes receive some documents. They may be asked for those documents to be translated. So it's just you know, people don't understand that.
Yeah, we recommend that you fill out the application in
Yeah.
English. It's easy for us to review. The review process is much more easier and faster that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So moving on to the help section. So basically, in the help section, you'll be able to see there's a form that you can fill out. If you so apart from messages, that's just another way for you to get help from us. Okay, so moving on. So now we're going to talk about, and we're going to talk to the schools that are already part of Worldchefs Education Network. So this is specifically, this section is for them. Because once you are a recognized school, then what exactly you can do when it comes to mapping, badging, and if you have any changes in the school and your institution as well. So we're going to talk specifically to those schools and what exactly they can do and how they can access their account. So the first thing is actually the accessing your account, how you can do that. So all you have to do is, again, go to worldchefs.org. That is the main website of Worldchef. That's the main homepage. And then at the top right corner, you will see there's an option called sign up/login. So once you hover the cursor, and once you take a cursor over there, you will see there's a drop down. So the first option is Worldchefs Online Community. And the second option is Recognized School Application. So this is the option where you have to click on in order to go to the same login page that I showed you. So we've been getting a lot of questions and emails in the past, especially after the first webinar that we did in the same topic, that how can I log in? I'm already a recognized school. How can I log in and get into this new dashboard? So this is exactly how you do that. Okay. And as soon as you are on this sign-in screen, you can try to log in. Let's say if you have your credentials for the old account, because this is the new system, right? So from the old system, if you remember your credentials, if you would try to log in, you will see a message which is in the red, which says that your account has been migrated from the previous version. So you need to reset the password in order to log in again and get access to this new account that you have. Okay, so it's really important that you reset the password. And how do you reset that? There's an option just below which says forgot password. Click here to reset. It's as simple as that. Once you click on that, you provide us with the email address, and then we will send you the password reset link in your email, and then you'll be able to set up a new password, and then you can log into your new account. Yeah. And as soon as you log in, you will see all the boxes will be green already, because you are already recognized school, right? Because you have already done the application, your program was already approved, and you're part of the Worldchefs Education Network. So all the boxes will be already green, okay? What you can do is that if you're looking to map your program, which is actually the next step in order to become a part of the Worldchef Certification Center, is to map your program. So you simply click on the option on the left-hand side which says map your programs. So once you click on that, you will be seeing a screen like this, which will have instructions, steps on how this process works, and then you'll be able to download the templates. They're Word documents, as you can do, three Word documents. And then you can download those. You can go ahead and fill those out, and then you have the opportunity to upload them as well. As you can see, there's an upload option there. You can review, and then you can submit. John, do you want to talk a little bit about in terms of the documents itself?
Yes, I do actually, and thank you. It's important with the document itself. The details that we would require would be very much the details of the programs that you're looking to have us mapped. have us map against two levels. So we have the Commis Chef badge or the Commis Chef certificate, and we have the Chef de Partie certificate. They're the two badges that we tend to map within the schools. So what we have is you have different levels. So if you're running a program, say a minimum 1 year culinary arts program or professional cookery program or whatever, that would map with the Commis Chef level. If it's more than a 2-year program, let's say it's a diploma program, that would definitely map against the Chef de Partie badge. Now, it's important also as well that when you are providing us with the information, that you complete the application form in the section that you're asked to provide it, and along with that then attach those programs so that we can then verify, because from our side here we would need to look at that and say, yeah, okay, this matches, this maps, this whatever. And once that's done, it's very simple. What happens then is the next process, when we'll talk about it shortly, we take it to the next step, and the next step is very simple. It's just all we do from the school's point of view is, all you have to do is submit a list of students, their names, their details, and so on and so forth. And then the badge issuing process is very straightforward. You pay a fee per badge, and then once that fee has been received, the badges are then issued through our issuing platform, which is called Credly.
Exactly. Thank you, John. And I also want to point out that in the step 1, as you can see on the screen, you will be able to download the handbook, which is your guide.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, you can refer to that as well. And I also want to mention another important thing is that please do not send documents via the messages channel, because we've seen in the past that we've gotten some documents via the messages, which kind of breaks up the process. So when you upload the documents here, that is the proper channel, and then we'll be able to review that. And then once we make a decision, you'll get an email. If when your mapping application has been approved, you'll get an email saying that, and then you'll be able to come back in and log in, and you can proceed to the badging part.
I think it's important also, Anand, to say, sorry, and I meant to mention it earlier on, and you're making a very good point there. So with the schools submitting their completed mapping application forms, everything must go through the system, because then, as part of our quality auditing system that we have with our partners, City and Guilds, the City and Guilds actually, they're part of this, because the badges themselves, the program itself was developed in partnership with City and Guilds, so they're part of the quality auditing system with us. So that's why we want to make it, it's a credible program. So every transaction and every interaction that has taken place between the school and whatever, if there's inquiry about applications, everything is recorded for quality audit purposes. And it's really, really important that, because we want to ensure that people, we want to make sure that people are confident that, what they're getting is a quality audited product. It's really important, especially for students as well.
Exactly. And John, you said that better than anyone, because we don't want to receive documents via email, because then again, that goes against the quality assurance steps.
Absolutely.
Everything must be done on the system itself, and then so we can keep track of everything. You'll be getting emails on each and every step.
Yeah. And I mean, the first step in that whole process is the first step, and you make a very good point as well. The first step there is, because if they've already been accepted as a quality school, well, then that's for us, that reassures us that, they will, that will continue with the mapping process as well. So it's very important.
Exactly. So moving on to the next option, as John already mentioned, is the digital badging. So once your program's been mapped, you will have access to this option on the left-hand side, which is digital badging. And as soon as you click there, again, you will see a bunch of steps there for you to understand how this process works for badging. And then you'll be able to download the templated files there. So you can see there's a download section there. You'll be able to download those files, fill them out. So basically, you have to provide us with the student information, the students that will be that we're supposed to be issuing badges to, right? So their first and last name and their email addresses. And once
It's
you've done
important
that,
also, and it's important. Sorry, it's important also that the information that they give us is absolutely correct, because we won't take responsibility, because when we put it through our system, whatever has been submitted on that template, that's what comes out on the certificate. So people need to understand that they need to make sure that it's the correct name and so on and so forth. Sometimes we get names where it might just have one letter and a full stop or whatever, but they need to make sure that all the information is correct, because we can't take responsibility. Worldchefs don't take responsibility. All we can do is use the information and data that we receive.
Exactly. And that's a good point, because it's always better to do a double check. If you have any special characters or if you have any spelling mistakes, then you can correct those before uploading this document and before submitting that. So it's basically the CSV file that you can upload and then submit. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, if you have any questions within any step, you can send us a message. Like I mentioned, you can fill out the form in the help section, and then we can help you with that. Okay, so moving on to the next step, there's an option called change form on the left-hand side. You'll be able to see that. So this is basically, let's say, if you have done any changes, or if there has been any changes in your institution program itself, any leadership changes, let's say the culinary director profile changed, or if there's a new person taken in charge, then you can basically download this form. There's a change form, renewal change form, and then you can let us know what changes has been done, and then upload that, and then we will review that, and then once we approve that, you will again get an email that your change request has been approved. So you'll be getting these emails all along the application process, like I showed earlier, and also each and every steps in mapping and badging, and also the change form request.
Yeah, and it's also important from our point of view that we have, the current contact details for whoever the person we deal with, and that's contained in the change form as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we can take. We have quite a bit of time to take the questions now. Or do we want to do the poll, Isla?
I think maybe do the poll, yeah.
So we'll do a little poll. We'll ask you a couple of questions with some answers, choices there. So feel free to answer those so we can get a nice understanding of our audience.
So the first question is, are you already a Worldchefs recognized school? So it's a yes/no response to that one. And then the second question is, how likely are you to apply to become a Worldchefs Approved Certification Center, or would you recommend your school to do so? Again, a single choice. So you have very likely, neutral, and unlikely or very unlikely. So they're the two questions. And then if you have any questions for the Q&A, please fire them on to us, and we'll be happy to answer them. I see some questions in the chat here, but I don't know whether they're. We'll go with this one first. Okay, so Ali, you can tell us how we're doing here.
I think we can take some of the questions, John, while some of the people are voting. We're still at 47% people voted for the poll, and I see there's 2 open questions.
I see that. Let me just look here and see. Let me look here and see. Okay, there's a question here coming inside. There's a chat from Chef Imran to everyone. Chef, I want to know. Sorry, no. Chef Imran.
I think, John, if you click on the Q&A itself, have two open questions, and then we can move to the chat.
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So Paul asks a question: can an online cookery school register under this process? Yes, once your program has been approved by World Chefs, absolutely no problem at all. Is the handbook available? Yes, the handbook is available. The handbooks for all the levels are available, so they can be got. Yeah, and this is from Murray Twaits. Thank you, Murray, and nice speaking with you last week. Thank you, and all very clear. Excellent. Okay, so if you have any further questions, please fire them on to us.
Thank you.
And we'll see. So, no more coming in there. So, what was the result of the poll? Sorry, I didn't see that.
So I see that, so poll ended. So for the first question, are you already part of the Worldchefs recognized school? Are you already a recognized school? So we have 44% people said yes, and then 56% people said no.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So the first part of the presentation speaks to the 56% of the people, because they're potentially looking to be a part of Worldchefs Education
Great.
Network.
Great.
And then the second part of the presentation directly will be beneficial for the 44% of the people present here today. So yeah, that's really excellent. Good. Excellent. And the second question, would you apply to become a Worldchefs Approved Certification Center, or recommend your school to do so? So we have really good response. We have 68% people said that they will very likely do that, and 26% likely will be doing that, and 6% neutral. So that's a really good response.
That's a very good response.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just looking at there's quite a few questions in the chat, but I'm still looking at one here from Suresh. So Suresh, you're asking a question. Okay, how to be a World Chef Association member? Well, I think that question. To be an association member, it depends on where you're from. If you have a National Chef Association in your country, check to see if they're already a member of World Chefs. They may well be. If not, well, then there's a process that you can do. I think you can download the application form from the website. You need to have support from letters and so on and so forth. But all that information is on our website.
Yeah, and then if you're looking,
am I right?
Yeah, and if you're looking to be a part of Worldchefs association as an individual member, you can actually go to Worldchefs website and click on Worldchefs online community from the sign up and sign in option there, and then you'll be able to make an account for yourself, which is the Worldchefs account, and you'll have access to our Worldchefs online community network as well.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah. Okay, who is this? Another question here. Do we have that? Okay.
So there's one question about the donation. I'll take that one, John.
Yeah, do please. Yeah.
From Clarence. I noticed that on Worldchefs webpage there's a donation. What the donation is for, please. So we have general donation. All along. We have donation for our programs. We also have donations for if there's any natural disasters happening around the globe. We do activate those as well. So it really depends.
Yeah. Okay. I know this on the health website. So this one here from Chef Suresh. I think he might be asking two questions here. I'm not sure. Imran, thank you. Okay, Chef, we need any infrastructure and any costs involved? I'm not sure if that's to do with a school or if it's to do with an application. I'm not quite sure. I am not quite sure. I'll just go down along here. Chef, dear participants, okay. Yep, there's nothing there. Clarence, okay. I think
John, we can talk a little bit about the annual fee, like the renewal fee.
Yes, possibly, yeah. And actually, one of the things that we didn't actually discuss was as part of the mapping process for the schools, there is no charge for that. It's done free of charge. But for anybody, for schools intending to join the World Chefs Recognition Program, there's an annual fee of €1,200 per year. And then for the badges, for the commis chef badge and for the chef de partie badge, there would be a negotiable rate for both of those fees. So yeah, that's where we leave that. And then with regards to the membership fee, I'm not sure, Anand, what the chef membership fee is. I don't know.
Well, for the individual member, as I mentioned, to create a Worldchefs account is absolutely free. So you get access to all the resources and
Okay.
get to be a part of the network. It's absolutely free. And I see that we have 3 open questions in the Q&A again, John.
I'm looking at them here. I see them here. Yeah, money from Masterclass Pakistan trip. Please update on costing. Yeah, I've just done that. How much processing fee when joining for time? Yeah, okay. So you pay the fee. I don't know if that's to do. I presume it's to do with the applying for the recognition, for the World Chefs recognition. So the fee is paid at the end, and then you submit the application. And then the last one is from Vinod. Dear chef, since 2009 to 13, I have been certified chef with Worldchefs. It will be my pleasure to replay the certificate fresh program. However, at the present time, I work at a bit of a. That's no problem. I mean, all you can do, and I think this is important too. It's a good question, actually. We would have had people who maybe would have, at the very early stages of our global certification program, who would have paid, and at the time it was a 5-year. It was valid for 5 years. So Worldchefs, we changed all that. So now it means that everybody who is awarded certification, it's a lifetime award. So you only pay a one-time fee. So anybody who has been issued a badge, or at the time it would have been a certificate, from around 212 to 215 or 217, if you wish to have your badges renewed, that's not a problem. You just send us an email and a copy of the current certificate, and then we would have an up-to-date certificate reissued. But we need to have proof of the certificate that you have and proof of payment as well. Now, we would have it in our records, but we'd also need you to confirm it as well. Yeah. Okay, Audrey, I'd like to know more how long it takes for the school to be registered once you have started the process. That's a good question, Audrey. We would like to think that it could be completed within 4 to 6 weeks. And once that has been done, again, it's really down to, what I would say is, it's down to yourselves, the school. I would say to you, like, take a look at the actual application process, look at the different stages of the application and what's required, and then gather all that information together. And I would recommend, somebody to, even if you create a folder on your computer, so you have everything there, rather than have to, clicking backwards and forwards and having to go out of an application and then go back in again. Whereas if you have everything to hand for each section, just write down a list of what you need. And then obviously then, when you get into the documentation, that's when the devil is in the detail. That's when we need all the most of the information. Also, it's important to remember as well that when we're asking you to provide photographs of your facilities, we're looking for photographs of your kitchens, the teaching kitchens, your library, if you have a library, study rooms, computer rooms, restaurants, whatever, I mean, a lot of schools now have training restaurants, so we'd like to see that. And another very important component as well is internship. Internship is a very strong arm for our application process, and because we place a lot of emphasis. We want to see that the students are gaining experience, not just within the school, but also within industry as well.
Exactly. And John, do you want to talk about, like, how long will it take to review and like for the decision? I think she's asking the school to register once you start.
Yeah, I think once. Once you start. Well, I've just answered that one for Audrey, but I'd also say that once we receive the application form, well, then that goes to our team, and then that's reviewed. It could take a week, maybe a week to 10 days. So then once that information has been approved and so on and so forth, once we click the approve button, then you will get an email confirming that your application has been approved. It then goes into the next step. The next step is where the invoice is issued, and then you pay the fee, Once the fee has been paid, then you would then be invited to an onboarding call, which I think is interesting. And Andy might want to talk about that, because I think the onboarding call is very important, and that's something that Connie had set up. And it really gives the schools, an insight into all the benefits that are available to schools within World Chefs.
Exactly, and you will have an opportunity to talk to the Worldchefs team, look at all the different programs that you can benefit from on that onboarding call, and we'll send you the presentation, obviously, and yeah, it's a really good opportunity for you to get involved.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So what are we at? 9:40. Yeah. Okay. So here's another one here. Thank you, Chef. Okay, you're welcome, Vinod. Thank you. Okay. I think that's more coming in, is there? 68 now. That's Q&A 3. Yeah, so I'm not sure if there are any more questions from people.
Yeah, feel free to put your questions in the Q&A, guys, if you have any questions on this presentation, on the process that we just discussed, or if you have any other questions in general related to today's topic.
But then once the webinar is finished, they'll be able to access this on our website.
Exactly. So we have recorded the webinar, as you might have noticed, and then we will be uploading this to the Worldchefs TV page. So you can go to worldchefs.org /TV, and then you'll be able to access this recording of this webinar today.
And don't forget, we have coming up, we have some events coming up. We have, I know we have some online events, but we also have some major physical events, like we have the Culinary Olympics taking place in Stuttgart in February. And then we also have then our World Chefs Congress taking place in Singapore. But that's going to be a very exciting event. That's where many chefs and culinary professionals from right across the spectrum of hospitality will meet. And it'll be an amazing event, amazing venue. And again, it's great to explore all the different cuisines. Fantastic. And a chance for people to network, especially for schools as well. We will offer a special discounted fee for schools. So if you're interested in that, please contact us. Because we'd love to see you there. We tried to host in fact, we did it last year. We'd have an education forum. So we would like to, start a little discussion on where we are, where is education going in the future, the challenges that we're facing, the challenges that hotels, hospitality are chasing, and also the fact that schools are facing as well, with reduced numbers and so forth. So we're trying to make it, we want to, how do we attract young people into this business? It's a global business, and it's a people business, so we need as many people as we can get into it. Being a chef is it's an amazing career. You get to travel, you get to make friends, you get to experience all the different cuisines and cultures across the world. So I certainly would recommend it. Absolutely. So I don't think there's any more. I think that's...
Yeah, and also I just want to mention that you can go to worldchefs.org /FAQ. So there's a FAQ page which we have published with all the questions that you might have, so because it has general questions as well. So you can feel free to go through that page. That can also answer some of your questions. You can also go to worldchefs.org /contact us. You'll be able to fill out a form and get in touch with us if you have any questions later on as well.
Yeah. So I think that's really that's the end of our presentation, I think, are we?
Yeah, and then it's worth to mention that there will be we'll do this again. You'll have again an opportunity at 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Yeah.
So yeah.
So before we go, I just want to say thank you to you all for participating, and it's great to see so many of you expressing interest in World Chefs, and thank you for your support. It's very, very important to us that we want to continue to, make it possible for schools to be recognised, and also give the opportunity to students and to culinary educators for them to be recognised as well through the Worldchefs Certification Programme. So before I go, I'd like to, on behalf of our team, thank you all for participating. Thank you, Anand, for your very detailed presentation. It's really excellent, and I think it has given people an insight into how the actual system will work. And as you say, we're there for them as well if they need more advice or guidance, whatever. Yeah. Also to thank Connie, she's in the background. So thank you, Connie, for answering some of the questions. And last but not least, thank you to Isla. She's there working away. She's our recording guru. So yeah, thank you all once again, and we look forward to hearing from you at some point in the future, and look forward to hopefully receiving some of your applications. So with that, without ado, we just want to say thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.